Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest story, starting with Lamine Yamal, as Barca reached full agreement with the La Masia Ace over a long-term contract, according to Fabrizio Romano. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this Argentine and Real Betis midfielder, Guido Rodriguez, as it has been reported that manager Xavi has asked the World Cup winner to wait for Barcelona, but the club made no moves. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. It was reported yesterday that Lamine Yamal could soon sign a professional contract with Barcelona. Today, after turning 16 years old, the player has reached full agreement with Barcelona over a long-term professional contract. The new three-year deal will be valid until June 2026, according to reports from Fabrizio Romano. The Italian journalist points out that Yamal's agent George Mendes has an agreement in place with Barcelona. The deal could soon be made official in what could prove to be an important milestone for the club as they look to restructure the squad ahead of the new season. Yamal has shown immense potential during his time at the club. He notably becoming the youngest star to ever play to future for Barca after making his debut against Real Betis towards the end of La Liga last season. His explosive speed, coupled with his dribbling skills, instantly raised eyebrows. Now, as Barcelona look to offload Ferran Torres, having someone like Lamine Yamal could prove to be critical for coach Xavi Hernandez. The 16-year-old has shown great potential so far in his youth career. He could, therefore, become a reliable attacking option for Xavi Hernandez next season, perhaps as an alternative for Fatih, Rafinha, or Ousmane Dembele on the flanks. While Dembele is in talks with Barca over a new deal, the future of Torres remains uncertain due to their relatively poor campaign last term. He has been linked with move away from the club this summer. Yamal, who has a flair to succeed at Barca, can offer the creative essence in the final third. However, the youngster must prove himself at the highest level first before he becomes a first-team regular. For the time being, however, Yamal will be a part of the first team but play for Barca Athletic when he is not seeing too much attention or too much action with the senior team. Of course, Lamine Yamal has been a phenomenal, great prospect. He's a player for the future. And I think Barca fans should be happy having a player of the stature of Lamine Yamal, because I think he's a player that Barca should keep, and he might be a great player next season. He has the potential to be a great player for us. And if managed well, if mentored well, I think Lamine Yamal will do something great. He has shown his potential. Xavi has always been a big admirer. Of course, from the onset, Xavi has been calling him ever since last season. During training sessions, he have always been joining the senior squad from the Barca Athletic to play with them in training sessions. But he finally made his breakthrough, making his debut against Real Betis in the thrashing that we gave them in the Camp Nou last season. And the player did so well in the very few time he had in the pitch, and he even almost scored a goal. Of course, he's a winger by trade. He's also an attacking midfielder. He's a great player, and I think he will do a good job. It's just that Barca need to be very careful not to mishandle him or to mismanage things up. Because I think if we can keep these players who are very cheap and, in fact, free, because they are players from La Masia Academy, I think they will enjoy the fruit of their labor. So Barcelona currently have already reached a full agreement with the players' camp to extend his contract. So you can see the fact that they are extending his contract because he has a lot of potential, and Barca also realizes that he needs to stay for such a long time because he is such a magnificent player, and keeping him for the club for a long time will be something wonderful. Of course, let's see how it goes in the coming days as Barcelona looks set to officially, you know, announce the extension of the player. But they are saying that next season there's no guarantee that he will still be playing. He will play regularly, but I think he will have more minutes compared to last season. The idea is he will still be playing mostly for the Barca reserve, formerly known as the B team. Then Xavi will be calling him to be playing when need arises in the senior setup. I think Xavi should be calling him more often because this is a great player that many Barca fans would like to enjoy next season. Then moving on to the final story of discussion, Barcelona are in the market for a defensive midfielder this summer as they look for a replacement for Sergio Busquets. The club have been strongly linked with a move for Oriol Romeo, while Barca are also keeping tabs on the situation growing around Sofian Amrabat. One other midfielder Barca were targeting earlier in the window was Guido Rodriguez. The Real Betis star was getting way to becoming the ideal short-term replacement for Busquets last month, sorry. But since then, there has been no real sign of Barca's interest in the Argentine. The club have insisted shifting their focus on Romeo. A recent report from AS has provided an illuminating insight into Barca's pursuit of Rodriguez, suggesting that head coach Xavi had informed the player of his interest back in April. Don't commit yourself to anyone. We like you a lot, Xavi reportedly told Rodriguez in April. However, later in the summer, neither Deco nor Matteo Alemany ended up calling the Argentine, which highlights a difference of opinion between the coaching staff and the technical staff. Of late, there have been some who have criticized Xavi for talking to opposition players. Sociedad's director Roberto Olabe was unhappy with Barca boss for speaking to Martin Zubimendi, while Girona were angry about him talking to Romeo before negotiations even kick-started. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.